Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for this hearing this morning. This committee has jurisdiction over the Postal Service, and it is our responsibility to make the necessary legislative reforms and protect the interest of the American taxpayer. It saddens me to report that due to years of Congress kicking the can down the road, the U.S. Postal Service remains in dire financial straits. The United States Postal Service has been on the GAO high-risk list for over a decade. For the past 11 years, it has been losing money at a rapid clip. The losses now total $69 billion. What's worse is that the United States Postal Service unfunded liabilities equate to $139 billion, almost double its annual revenue. This is a slow-motion train wreck that keeps getting worse while Congress looks on. The situation is untenable under current law, and congressional action is required to stop the bleeding and prevent a catastrophic financial reckoning that would actually soak taxpayers. We need real institutional reform. Can't afford to keep moving money from one financially failing program into another. Some reforms are quite obvious. We must require the Postal Board of Governors to have fiduciary duties to a newly defined stakeholder, the American taxpayer. That this is not already the mandate of the government-run service is just flat out wrong. If we fail to act, we risk a taxpayer bailout of the U.S. Postal Service, something that I could not support. The reforms have been right in front of us for over a decade, but we've lacked the courage to act. This situation is especially sad because we are lagging behind the rest of the world in reforming our postal system. For instance, Sweden has repealed its postal monopoly in 1993. Sweden Post has reorganized into a corporate structure. Germany's Deutsche Post was largely commercialized in a stock offering in 2000, and Germany opened its postal markets to competition in 2008. Britain opened its postal markets to competition in 2006, and after 500 years of government ownership, commercialized the Royal Mail and share offerings in 2013 and 2015. In New Zealand, the government forced the Postal Service to cut costs and put it into a corporate form. The country repealed its monopoly in the 1990s. The Trump administration is doing its part. In 2018, the President organized a task force to evaluate postal operations. In December, the task force proposed 26 recommendations, including that the United States Postal Service must reduce labor costs and restructure health and retirement benefits. I hope we can discuss the task force proposals today. We must now endeavor to make the tough choices, tough decisions, those before us have failed to make. I hope today can be the beginning of living up to the expectations of those who sent us to Washington to deal with the tough problems.